Allow me to introduce you to Leave the Lobby. He is a top 100 champion who, guess what his KD is? Guess, I'm gonna show you. 4.17, except it's not, because if we look even closer, we'll see that he had a 29.5 KD. Now, I wasn't even gonna make this video until this clip happened.
But man, get your trash ass out.
Bro, what?
Bum ass nigga.
Yeah, that was a big mistake. Now we're going to be making this video. Now I want to be upfront. I don't have all the answers. This was actually an ongoing investigation until that very clip happened. He kicked me from the party, and look at this. He immediately blocked me. But it gets weirder because I actually met this guy in looking for group posts. The purpose of looking for group posts is to find a ranked stack so that you can generally grind a champion. They generally result in a disastrous experience. I would not recommend them. But there was immediately something off when I joined Leave the Lobby's group post. There were 4 problems. 1, he was on a Smurf account. He was playing on Midnight Hippo, who I believe has also blocked me. He has a very adulterous woman as his profile picture, who this potential woman actually is going to be important later in the video. The second problem is that nothing in our lobby was loading. Like the ranks weren't loading. It was showing the thing where it does like, it'll show our PC ranks instead of our console ranked, even though we're trying to play console rank, you know? Our stats would stop showing, like our win-loss and KD, it would just show a blank bar instead of the stats. There's like a bird in my apartment.
30 seconds.
Now, the immediate thought was to just chalk this up to Ubisoft's glitches, right? I mean, we've all had these problems where we're trying to join a friend's stack or something and like the game's not loading and it kicks somebody, whatever, right? So in the moment, I kind of brushed this to the side. I was like, okay, no, nothing to worry about. But then the third problem appeared where he started queuing an unranked match. Now, immediately, one of the other members of our squad, because there were 5 of us, he ended up expressing concern at this and saying, yo, why are you queuing an unranked match? I thought we were playing ranked, right? It was a ranked post on the LFG. And Leave the Lobby brushed it off. He said, nah, it's just a glitch. It's weird. Like, our ranks aren't showing. It shows unranked. It's weird. And for half a second, I believed him. For half a second. And then problem 4 was that there was a woman in the party, which is just a rare thing to find. And it was around this moment when I started to realize something was off. Like, this guy clearly was lying about queuing unranked. But it was around this moment when I started to realize something was off, and then we actually queued into an unranked match. So it turned out this guy had been lying to us about the lobbies being glitched, and his excuse to us was, oh, she just needs one more unranked game to play ranked. And through that statement, he was referencing the woman in the party. Midnight Star 412, who I think has blocked me. She's in an unranked match right now. But Midnight Star looks suspiciously familiar because if we go back to Mighty Hippo's profile picture, we'll see that the woman in this picture looks very similar to the one that we just saw. So I started to investigate further, and I realized that I believe all 3 women in the profile pictures are the same. Because if you look closely at Leave the Lobby's profile picture, you'll see that I believe this is the same woman as well. There's actually I didn't even realize there was a woman in this photo at first, but she appears to be very adulterously posing herself. It looks like a privately sent message as well. You can also see that Leave the Lobby bought followers because, wait a minute, Princess Haley. Not only did he buy followers on Xbox Live, but he bought followers on Instagram. I just don't believe that he has 30K on Instagram. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't check, but I just don't believe him. Okay, I just looked up his Instagram, and I don't know if I'm an idiot, but I can't find it. But I did find this link on Google, which has his Instagram handle tagged in the bio description of the Google link. I'll play that clip for you guys. If we go ahead and open the comments are pretty disturbing. Now, it's unclear whether the person in the Instagram post is actually Leave My Lobby, or maybe it's somebody unrelated. Maybe it's a friend, a past lover, but I wouldn't put it past him for that to actually be him because of details that I'll explain later on in the video, which it's all gonna make a lot more sense. Now, it's about this time when I know something weird is going on, and I don't know, but I know, right? I don't know, but I know, and soon I'm gonna know. And if you know where that's from, then you're like an incredibly cultured person. And I think around now would be a good time to reveal something to you guys that I haven't actually told you, which is related to the intentions of Leave the Lobby. You see, Leave the Lobby never actually intended to play a ranked game after this unranked game, right? You might think like, oh, he just tricked the lobby, because my first thought actually was, oh, Leave the Lobby just tricked us into queuing an unranked game with him so that he can get his woman friend, who we'll talk about in a second, so she can be able to play ranked, right? Well, if we take a look at Leave the Lobby's R6 tracker on both of his accounts, we'll see that on his main account, he has not played in over a year. And on the Smurf account, the one with the super adulterous woman in the photo, he only plays unranked games, which is very, very weird. In fact, Leave the Lobby himself, after this ranked game, would end up trying to queue another unranked game with us, and I would question him right around now. I would say, yo, I thought this was our last unranked game. I thought we were gonna play ranked around now. And he said, yeah, we are. This is the last one. I meant, he said, and I quote, no, I said before, all right, we only have to play one more after this. this. So this is our last unranked game. And I'm no genius, but I do have a decent memory. And I remember what he said to me. And that's not what he said. He lied. Which again is weird because we have somebody who's on his Smurf account who is lying to LFG solo queue players so that he can get them on his team and queue them into unranked games with a woman in the party. And that's not to mention that he had a 29.5 KD top 100 champion. What's going on there? I think we all might have suspicions as to what's going on there. But before I get there, Princess Haley. I believe this is Haley's actual account here, which you can see she's still actually online in the menu. She won't join my party though, which is interesting in itself. I think she's actually blocked me, but I don't know if I would be able to see her. But it is my honor to suspect that Princess Haley is actually married to Leave the Lobby. And the reason I suspect that is because Leave the Lobby at one point said the words "my wife," and I quote, I don't remember what he said after that. I don't know if he said anything before that, but I heard the words "my wife," and then I also heard them talking about going on trips together and stuff. More specifically, Princess Haley was complaining that Leave the Lobby wouldn't take her to Paris, but he would take her to Orlando, which sounds like an incredibly spoiled thing to say, but I'll refrain from giving my opinion on certain things. I'm just laying out the facts for you guys. Now, Haley also mentioned that her Zim cheating, Elo trapping husband, this fine gentleman has $50 in his bank account. So take that as you will. Again, all this information, I'm just laying out the facts for you guys. This is what I got from my investigation. I was actually hoping to interview Leave the Lobby, but he, of course, blocked me, kicked me from the party, was quite rude to me at the end of there. And I did take that personally. If anyone was wondering, I absolutely took that personally, and I will feed off that energy for probably weeks to come. I also didn't appreciate that while I was playing unranked with Leave My Lobby, he would proceed to make an excuse or blame the other team every single time he died without fail. Which is weird because normally people blame their teammates. I mean, that's what even I do sometimes. I'm a flawed man, right? This Elo trapper, Leave the Lobby would actually either blame Ubisoft, blame the other team for cheating, which is pretty ironic, but I'm not going to go there, or make some kind of excuse about like the other team's playstyle, which makes no sense because like, I don't know.
Yo, this kid's cheating. No, this kid's a baiting bot, bro. He's just standing there. Why would the kid go up to the window second I stop looking?
I'm not even going to get into that, but what I will say is, actually, I'm going to show you a clip here. I'm going to show you a clip of Leave the Lobby's gameplay, and I want you to tell me if you think he's cheating. Again, it's just one clip. How are we going to be able to tell from just one clip, right? It's not going to be definitive proof that he's cheating and that he deserves to be banned on every single account that he's ever had.
Ooh. Right in bathroom. Last one was on piano last game.
Yeah, you're not beating me, Nick. How's that not a kill?
Look, you're never gonna know if somebody's cheating or not, if they have a keyboard, if they have a Zim, if they have a Cronus, whatever, you know. But I do know, right? I don't know, but I know. Which brings me to the overall question of this entire video, which is why is there a Zim, mouse and keyboard, Elo trapping top 100 champion playing only unranked games? And how does he have a wife? Was Princess Haley deceived into thinking that he was a good Rainbow Six Siege player? Because I looked up her KD, she had a 0.5, 0.6, consistently 159 games played. Maybe they even met in a ranked game, and she thought that he was super talented because he had a 29.5 KD, but in reality he was Elo trapping, and that's the only reason he had hit champion in the first place. Also, why unranked? And why lie to a bunch of random solo queue players and trick them into queuing an unranked game with you? That doesn't make any sense. And just to be clear, I think I said this before, but both players were well over level 200. They both had the ability to play ranked. Haley had played ranked for years on end beforehand. I told you she had a 0.6, 0.5 KD on average with hundreds of games played. Again, lots of things not adding up in this case. Let me know if you guys have any ideas as to why this would be happening. I'm really curious because this happened to me about 30 minutes ago and I just have no idea what's going on. So I don't know, but soon I'm gonna know.